have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up, and throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77 Jesse, Jesse, Jesse. Oh man, I had a biblical question. I forgot what it was. I'll tell you later. I will tell you later. I told Hake, but I forgot to give it to my producer, Sean. Move to the right. How's that? Okay. I'll give you the biblical question a little later. If you're out and about and you're not able to sit and watch the show right now, as it's happening, you can podcast, of course, but you can listen to the show on your iPhone, iPad, anywhere in the world. We're heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're black, everybody and their mama. If you're white, everybody and their mother. What the? And if you're a flat earther, up and down the world. If you're a round earther, around the world we are heard. By calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. All right? No matter what you're doing. And follow us on social media. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And to donate to have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com. Also, you can go to Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. All right. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour. Manhood Hour in the third hour. I want to say this as I get rolling today. And I was thinking about this, reflecting on this yesterday and while I was out on vacation for Christmas and New Year's celebration. I was reflecting as I was watching what's happening in my country today. And I've said over and over again that my country is not coming back. And I know a lot of people have false hope and belief that it is, but it's not. Now, that doesn't mean you can't live in my country in perfect peace, perfect harmony with yourself. But the country itself, the people who are in this country, is not coming back. Meaning that it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And the reason that one of the reasons is that if you really, 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 just really, really, really pay attention to what's happening outside of you, inside of you too, but if you pay attention to the inside, you're going to see the outside clearly. But if you pay attention to what's happening in my country today, and it starts in the home. It's not just in government, in businesses, on the playground and places like that. It starts in the home. What I've noticed and I'm seeing is that human beings, human nature, human beings are evil to the core. And human beings treat each other with pure evil, no love. Pure evil. You know, you hear people say, oh, human beings are naturally good people. That's a lie. That is a lie to the core. The human nature is evil, and the human nature goes against God. Human nature hates God. It hates good. And if you pay attention to what's happening around you and in the media and in the country and blah, 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 human nature, human beings are treating each other, men and women of all races, are treating each other horribly. Young and old, rich and poor, if there's such a thing. They are treating each other horribly. And each human being is out to get what they can get. They don't care about you, and you don't care about them. Human nature is evil. But there is something that is happening in my country that I don't hear a lot about, and I hear some people mention it, but it's not up for debate like other things. There is something that's happening in my country and around the world, really. But I put my country first. But it is happening around the world. But I put my country first, America first. You know, you put home, take care of home first, right? That is unspoken for the most part. Listen up, folks. Put your ears close to the radio. Turn your headsets up. If you're working out or something and you have on headphones. There is something that's happening in my country that is worse. When I say worse, I mean like way worse. Worse than slavery in any form or manner. Worse than slavery. Worse than abortion. Worse than abortion. Way worse than abortion. Worse than the fight between the races, so-called races. It's worse than I can't think of anything that this is worse than. It's worse than the women's right, civil rights, movement rights, rights. This is worse than, it's number one. And it's pure evil. It's worse than a boy. It's worse than, I can't think of anything that is worse than. There's nothing that has ever happened in our country that is worse than this. And it's pure evil. And it's deliberate. And it's coming through Christians, male and female Christians, secular people, rich people, poor people, black people, white people, Chinese, Japanese, Asian, Mexicans. It comes through all people. And it's the worst thing and the most dangerous thing that could ever happen to human beings. And unless it change, and I don't see a change coming, I do see one or two people changing, but I don't see a change coming. Now, I do see some men and women changing, those who are working on themselves as individuals. Okay, I'm told that we have a little popping situation going on, and they're working on it, though. We'll keep moving forward. Can people hear me and understand me and hear me clearly, even though the pop is happening? Okay. This is the worst thing. This is worse than all these different names y'all have for everything, right? Abuse and violence and blah, blah, blah. There is a deliberate attack on men. And I thought about the word attack on men. That word is not good enough to express what's happening. There is an evil by Christian women in the pulpit, those women who teach Sunday school and Sunday classes and read the Bible, and those men who are going along with it, secular men and women. The attack upon men, it really is upon God through man. The attack is worse than anything else that could ever happen to a human being. To get rid of men. When you get rid of men, you're getting rid of God. And you're putting women in charge. You're opening up the gates of hell. You're opening up the gates of hell. Hell comes through the woman. I don't care what color the woman, how many Bibles she read, how many churches she attend, except for the woman that realizes it and starting to overcome it. You're putting women in charge of the homes, the government, the media, corporations, businesses, and everything. I promise you, if you don't already regret it, you will live to regret. There is nothing worse that can happen to human beings than to put women over men and families and businesses and government and schools. The gates of hell come through the woman. And there, in my country today, there's a big push, a major push. There's this one woman of whom I will not name. She is as phony as Allah Abba. She teaches a Bible class. She does a TV show, and she's always spouting God, and she's pushing women like nothing going north because she's evil in the name of Jesus. And she has a phony, fake, evil grin as though she's so innocent and so nice and so God-loving. and feel sorry for everybody. Oh, the attack upon men. I use the attack, but it's a battle between good and evil. And the one thing I want you to know for sure and without a doubt, women hate men. They hate men. And yet they yearn for a man. Their heart desire to return to the Father. This attack upon men in my country, it's happened around the world, is what's going to bring America all the way to its knees. And anyone that promotes women over men are telling you that they are evil. They hate God. And it doesn't matter if they read the Bible or go to church or hoop and holler or whatever they do. Or secular or agnostic or whatever they may call themselves. Any woman, any female, or any male that promote the woman over the man is worshiping evil. They have chosen evil over good. And they're proud of it. They love evil. If you just open your eyes and look around your country, my country, America, and see what has happened since women have taken over, and they're still pushing women like nothing going on. And there's nothing that has happened that's good. Nothing, zero. It is not in the woman's nature to be leaders. It is not in her nature to lead men. Every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers. That's not my rule. It's a spiritual order. Every time you listen to the woman, you suffer, and you will suffer. And if you look at the schools and look at the good old days when men were in charge, everything was working. There were issues, but not like this. And some dumb, blind, angry, evil people think, oh, well, the men didn't do it right, so you might as well give it to the woman. The woman is smarter than the man. That's a lie. The woman is very cunning and evil until she sees it and overcome it. By forgiving her father, her mother for turning away from her father, she's yearning for the Father. It's a battle between good and evil, and the evil is coming through women and through men who have not overcome their mothers. I would urge you, do what you want, but you better wake up and see what's going on before it's too late. I was paying attention to them, flipping through the channels over the time that I was out. It appears that most of the TV shows, both conservative, so-called conservative, and liberal, are promoting women. It makes you sick. They're just promoting women. It's pure. It's so evil that you can hardly look at it. News anchors, weather reporters, this and that, all women. If it's a story about the military, the woman is from, they're using an expert woman. If it's about health or whatever, it's about mowing the grass, they got women. And it's all phony and it's all evil. Satan is ruling my country now, but he doesn't have to rule you. As an individual, you can overcome evil. You can overcome the world, but it's up to you. But it's time to wake up. A storm is coming, and it's coming through the woman. There is literally no difference, zero difference, except for the woman that is waking up by looking at herself and dropping her anger by forgiving her mother and return to her father. There's literally zero difference between a Christian woman and a secular woman and an atheist woman and a agnostic woman, whatever they want to call themselves, right? They're all the same. There's no different. There is zero difference. And you can find out for yourself. Disagree with a Christian woman, one that thinks she knows it all, and see what happens. Watch the media and these women who are in control of the media. They're like anchor women or whatever you want to call them, news reporters. Watch who they have to bring on as an expert. Once in a while, they'll throw in a male, and he's weak as nothing going no. He's like beta. I would suggest that you wake up before it's too late. The Adam and the Eve thing is happening. The world is the Old Testament. And if you're living in the world and of it as well, you're evil. America, the problem is not racism, sexism, homophobism, anti-Semitism, and it's not isms. It's the lack of men loving God with all their heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else or nobody else, but loving the woman as your God. And that love you have for the woman is hate. It's not love. Because if it was love, you'd bring her out of the hell she's in instead of going into her hell. And you wouldn't be afraid. America, you talked about how Christianity is under attack. Christianity is under attack by attacking men. Attacking men. I have realized that the Republican Party, for example, and the Democratic Party is absolutely the same. You can close your eyes and just vote for either one, you'll be just fine. It's going to be hell either way. The Republicans are putting in as many women, black women, whatever, colored women, as the Democratic Party is. They're pushing everything that the Democratic Party is pushing. Other than voting for Donald Trump, there's no reason to vote for the Republican Party. Zero reason. Because all they're doing is thinking of themselves, the representatives are. Inwardly, they have the same belief that non-Christians, that hateful women who hate men have. There's no different. Has anything gotten better since Trump left? Has the Republican Party done anything to make America better? All they did was pretend they care about going after Joe Biden's son or Joe Biden, they pretend. I don't even think that's real, to be honest. And what will that benefit us, the American people? And now all of a sudden, election times are here, and you start to hear the Republican, they care so much about the borders all of a sudden, right? That old white guy from South Carolina should have been outlawed, Lindsey Graham, I think his name is. Is that Lindsey Graham, Sean? Lindsey Graham was saying the other day in the media, the borders are real important. What will I tell my constituency when I go back to my district? If I vote for this bill to send money to Ukraine or Israel, but haven't done anything for the border, he hasn't done anything all along. And he was for the war in Ukraine, and he's been voting to send money to Ukraine. Why all of a sudden he's concerned about sending money instead of the borders? It's all a game. It's all a lie. They tell you lies, and they print and care, and they lie. But you can't see it because you're not paying attention to what's happening through you. There is nothing worse than the attack on men in my country. They've already wiped out the other foreign countries, so that's why I'm not really mentioning. Look at poor Africa. Poor Africa. They wiped out the black man over in Africa so long ago that it's hopeless. And it's the same thing to black males in America. They wiped them out 70 years ago when they brought in the government and gave the woman money and told her she's better than the man. You don't need no man, except to make some babies so you can get more welfare. And the average black male, look at him. Not all, but most. Robbing, stealing, murdering, breaking in people's home, carjacking, homeless, begging, blaming the white man. Living in an illusion of a past. And white men, they're doing the same thing to you as quiet as it kept. Slowly but surely. My producer mentioned yesterday about the boiling water with the frog in the water, in the pot, and the water slowly. That's what they're doing to white men. Look how desperately they're trying to get rid of the one white man who said no to evil, who has no fear and said no to the evil ones. Republicans, Democrats, Christians, non-Christians alike are going after him. The one white man that is in their way. The attack is upon men, and it's coming through the woman. Starting in the home with your mama. Your mama hates your daddy. She's turning you away from your father and recreating you in her image, which is of evil, boys and girls. And that's why the girls end up doing the same thing the mamas end up doing, because they have the nature of the mother, which is the nature of the devil, instead of their own nature. And the men have it too, until they return to the Father. It's a spiritual battle. And you're so foolish and blind, you think it's physical. Because you're not working on yourself. And whatever they tell you to say and do, you just say it. And you just do it. It's hell on earth. But you can be free of the hell as an individual, but you got to work on you. And I suggest you do, but do what you want. Every adult human being, as an individual, is responsible for yourself. No one else is, for your own hell or your overcoming. But men, may God have mercy on your soul when you go along promoting women as leaders, as smart, and as clever, as whatever you're saying. You bring on your own destruction. You are calling evil good. You call it evil good. And women, you go along with this too, damnation is yours. It doesn't matter how much glorifying you get, you still gonna have hell in yourself. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Back in a moment. Your phone calls and super chats. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. It's amazing. 888-7753-773. Men's Forum this Thursday. Today is Wednesday already, right? Yeah. Tomorrow night, if the Lord is willing, at the Creek Door Rise, the first Thursday of the year, of the month, of the year of 2024 at 7 p.m. It's so insane to me. But I understand it. That's what's so interesting about it. That there are people who can't see what's really going on. And they are living in fear. Not understanding that the fear is inside of you. It's not outside of you. The fear is inside of you. And the fear talk to you. And the fear tell you what's going to happen. What has happened. And how you should act and respond. And you obey the fear. And the fear makes you think that it's the situation or that it's the people that make you feel that way. It's not. It's the fear already in you. And anyone that has fear is of evil. God has not, the truth has not, love has not given you a spirit of fear. Look like that alone should let you know something is wrong. Does it seem normal to be afraid to tell women that no, go sit down, you are not created to lead? Does it seem normal that you're afraid to say that? Look like when you know you need to say it, and not out of anger, not out of hate, not with the intent to hurt. And then fear comes in your mind and say, no, don't say that because she's going to get mad. Look like that alone, you're like, ooh, who's telling me that? What the? If you have any doubt about what is happening, gonna happen, and it's only gonna get worse, you have a physical example right in front of your face. You have Black Americans. And not all, but most. Their mothers and their grandmothers, the women who are in charge of them, have destroyed them. They have destroyed the black men and black children. And you prop them up as good. You put them in government. You put them in charge of in my country today, they'd rather put a black woman in charge than a black man any day, because they know nothing but hell coming through her. It ain't gonna get better. He even knows it through the people. Black men, not all but most, are not weak because of some white man. Black men are weak because they have been destroyed by their mothers. They have the woman's nature. That's why they're so easy to anger. They snap just like a woman at every situation rather than overcoming the situation. I want to give you an example. Amongst many, but one that is happening in my country as a result of women taking over. I'm using words like taking over and attacking, but women are not taking over. Men are handing it over to them. Because the power is in the male, it's not in the female. And if the male didn't give up the power, the female cannot take it. The males are giving it up. It's like white men are giving up their country out of fear. It's not like somebody's taking it away from them, but due to the fear they have, the country's been taken, and they're handing it over to them because of the fear of what people are going to think, what they're going to say, what they're going to take from me. And that's the fear in you telling you that. Well, they're going to take this away from you. And you're like, oh, okay. What a mess. In the white countries around the world. Here's an example, and we mentioned this yesterday. A friend of mine sent me this on my cell phone. Thank you, friend. He texted to me. We mentioned the Seattle airport bathrooms. According to WNG.org, Seattle Airport debuted its first all-gender restroom as part of an estimated 62 million restroom renovation project. Watch this from Port of Seattle.
All gender restrooms. It actually includes 10 different ceiling to floor stalls, all private. And then around the corner, we've got frosted windows that cover up the urinal space. The common space within the all-gender restroom is basically over here where our restroom and hand washing stations are. If you'd rather have a men's or women's restroom or even a family restroom, those are available a couple of gates down on either side.
It's one thing off the list that I don't have to think about when I'm going to travel. It's so respectful. And that on my experience, and even the ones I've had that have been terrible, was being recognized and respected and honored and seen.
Pure evil. How many men walk around and think, oh, I'm being so respected because now I got a transgender bathroom. I can go in and take a pee. That is so evil. That's evil. The man who presented the bathroom and that weak male beta, they were talking about how he feels so respected. Just think about this. Who sit around and think, well, let me build a bathroom where everybody have to go into? I know. Who? You know that's evil. Whatever happened to men restroom, women restroom? And if y'all want to push this transgender thing, build a transgender restroom, but they don't want to go in there anymore. Whatever, right? But why you got to put them all together? For what? What's the reason? The reason is to create a war, to bring on more problems, to bring on more fighting between the people, human beings. This is going to be nothing but create a war between human beings. They want you fighting. They did this to create battle between human nature, human beings, so they can create more laws and take control of you. There's no real reason for this except that. Nothing for the good. It ain't love. It ain't for the good. It's to create a mess. Look at what they're doing in my country today. They take away the law that protect your property. and they protect the criminals. They want you angry. They want you fighting. They want you. That's why they're doing this stupid one for all bad. That doesn't even make sense. What? There's no good in that. It's not love. It's not caring. It's evil. And they play the music in the background while the weak male, beta male, girly male promote it as something good. $62 million restroom renovation project. What? That doesn't even make sense. That's evil. That's why it doesn't make sense. It's evil. It's pure. Y'all better. The world is I say to what my country and the world too, but my country, I'm concerned about America. America, if you look out there, and nothing but anger, nothing but fights, no love, zero love. People get ticked off just like that. And this is what your government want. This is what your leadership want. This is what everybody wants, is for you to fight one another. And they know, even knows, that the best person to put in place to usher evil into the world is the woman. Put her in charge, it's over. And pretend that she's doing good. I was looking at Fox this morning, I think, one of those shows, and they were saying that apparently, and I may not have the story all the way right, but apparently some of the soldiers who took the Chinese virus shot thing, they're now suing the military or something like that. And so they brought on an expert to talk about that. Guess who it was? A female. They couldn't find one male to talk about the lawsuit of the people who were put out of the military during the Chinese virus thing or whatever. They couldn't. They looked the earth and they could only find women. This is not good. It doesn't work in the homes. It doesn't work in schools. It doesn't work in government. Look how out of control the schools are with violent crimes and monitors, and you gotta go through a machine to see if you're armed as a student. It wasn't like that when men were in charge of the schools. When the male was principal, the principal was a male. It only became that way once women took over. Once the men gave it over to the women. And now they have it's so bad they went from metal detectors to abortions. And they went to now transgender in the school. Would that be happening if men were running the schools? Evil is coming through the woman. And it's not their fault because they don't even know it. Well, some do, but most don't. Because nobody tells them, hey, you need to be born again of the Father. You need to return to the Father because all this hell in you is from, it's a nature that has been passed on to you with Eve. I have more. But I'm just trying to wake you up or encourage you to wake up. Because human nature is evil. There's nothing good about human nature. It's not of God. It's not of God. They could be smiling in your face and stabbing you in their imagination. And you think, oh, this is such a lovely person. Oh, this is such a lovely person. And in their heart, it's all about themselves. $888-7753-77. This. I'm using the word attack because I can't think of another word. This attempt, which is working, to bring men down is evil. It's all evil. In the home, everywhere. David is a first-time caller out of California. David, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Mr. Peterson. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear, David.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to call you and thank you for all your work that you do and helping everybody out, speaking up and speaking the truth.
You're welcome, man. Are you now working on yourself?
Oh, yes, sir.
Nice. Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Oh, yes, I did.
How did that go?
It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. She didn't really respond in a negative way or a positive way. She just kind of basically knew that she had did something wrong, and you know, she basically said what you continuously say is that they were treated like that or had something traumatized them when they were a child.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how about your father? You forgave him for not protecting you from her?
He's next on the list. I haven't found him yet, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, stay with it, David. Are you doing the silent prayer so you can let go?
Yes, sir. Every morning, every night.
Nice. Stay with it, David. I'm telling you, the hell that you're overcoming that's within you going to have a hissy fit. It does not want to depart from your mind and body. So it's going to have if you stay with it, it's going to have a fit. But the truth,
sir.
The love of God will cause it to leave you. It really will.
Yes. And if I could say one thing
Yes.
to all your callers that are listening about going and forgiving your parents, they actually want you to go and forgive them, because I remember when I was in my teens, I had found a letter that she wrote basically apologizing in the letter, and I didn't confront her about it. I think I just put it back where I found it.
Yeah.
And it was when I was in my teens. And then when I found your show, I've been listening to you for almost over a decade. When I found your show, everything you were saying was basically confirmed. Your parents want you to go to them and forgive them. It's you're actually helping them, because when I forgave her, I could hear her voice, I could hear her demeanor, everything changed. And ever since I've forgiven her, when I'm around her, I can now basically talk to her as if I'm talking to another adult, rather than talking to her as if I'm afraid of her or
Absolutely.
basically trying to walk around on glass.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And that's how, if you stay with it, you're going to find yourself dealing with the whole world in the same way. As
Yes.
You're not going to be afraid. You're not going to be worried about what this or that. You're just going to deal with everyone with perfect love. And that's what that is. You reminded me of a woman that was in our fellowship on this past Sunday, and there was this person that she could not imagine ever forgiving. She was saying this person had done so many awful things to her, and that they were very close, and yet this person did so many awful things to her. And over a period of time, you know, I kept telling her that, well, you're not going to be free until you forgive. You got to forgive. There's never, ever, 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 ever a reason to be angry, to judge, right? And so on Sunday, she said that she went and forgave. She forgave that person, and it just changed everything. But what happened that she didn't expect is that she, not only has she gotten better from the anger, she see that person, and in a way that she never seen them before. She didn't know.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
couldn't see what was going on with them, and now she does.
And yeah, it's amazing that you said that, because when I did that, I could see like a child come out of her. Like I could see her as if she was a child, basically, and she was afraid of my grandmother.
Yes.
And it was just amazing to see that. And now that, like I said, if you go to your parents and you forgive them, it's amazing, because then you can help them by telling them their flaws when they mess up, and you can speak to them in a way that you're not irritated at them when you're speaking to them.
Yeah, you're speaking to them with perfect love, but you're speaking to them as an adult and not as a child.
Right.
And you're honoring your parents now because you could be yourself and not be angry at them for what they have done to you.
Yeah, with no irritation now.
Yes.
When I'm talking to her, and she thinks that she's doing something to irritate me.
Yeah.
And she's not. And I basically just call her on it as if I would call anybody else on it. It's amazing to me, too, that I was so scared when I was talking to her, because I do security. And I've done security. I've done bouncing gigs all up and through Sacramento.
Yes.
And I've had knives pulled on me and guns pulled on me. I've been in physical fights. And I grew up in a very predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. And I've seen people get shot when I was a very young age. All kinds of just horrific things that you think that a person, if they went through that, they wouldn't be afraid of anything.
Right.
And I can't believe it when I started talking. I couldn't even look her in the eye. I had to look away when I was talking to her. And then I said, you know what? Jesse always said, look them in the eye.
Yes.
As if you were facing an actual situation. And so I looked her in the eye. As soon as I looked her in the eye, I seen basically like a childlike state.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, every human being, there's not one, but every human being have the same fear of their mothers and grandmothers, or whomever's in charge, right? And the fear tell them, oh, you're going to hurt her feelings, or she took care of you, she had you. But it's all fear. But once you face that fear, that's when reality comes to light for you. And so the same thing is going to happen now, David, as you face the fear that comes up in you at times with other situations. If you just face it, by watching it, it will be taken away from you.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
I had the same fear when I had to face my mother. But when I went and did it, I was able to see her almost, as you said, as a child, rather than some bully that I need to be afraid of.
Right.
And my mother, she seemed to be one of the nicest women on the earth, but that wasn't true.
Yeah. It's really liberating. I hate to use that word to explain it, but that's what it feels. That's the only word I can think of in this moment to explain it.
I love that word, liberating. It is. David, thank you, man. Amazing call.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for all your work you do, and thank you for speaking up and just basically facing everything.
Thank you, buddy. Back in a moment. I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Nick News, not the spit. Oh, don't want to say that. Welcome. This is we're rocking Nick News, okay? No Hake. It's a little messy, kind of like me a little bit. My bad, but hey, we're gonna get into the news here. The world stage is heating up even further. Imagine that. CNN reports at least 103 killed in blasts near the Iranian military commander of Qasem Soleimani's grave. Oh boy, get ready to Royal Rumble number 3, part 3. Place your bets because it's going to be no, that's a little glib and a little dark. That's a joke. Maybe not the time for that. But CNN reports at least 103 people were killed Wednesday and 141 injured in the Iranian city of Kerman, if you're British, after twin blasts near the burial site of slain military commander Qasem Soleimani in what officials called a terror attack, according to state media. Soleimani was killed by a U.S. airstrike ordered by former President Donald Trump at Baghdad International Airport 4 years ago Wednesday. They're coming home to roost. Okay, no group has yet claimed responsibility for the blasts. The blasts occurred amid heightened tensions in the region as Israel fights a 3-month war against Hamas in Gaza. Enough with the glibness, Nick. Let's get to the news. Prompted by the militant group's October 7th attack on Israel. As the fights are breaking off across the world and the stage heats up, the fights at home continue. CBS reports Harvard President Claudine Gay resigns amid controversy. That short-haired black lady up against the world at sea. No. Claudine Gay, the president of Harvard University, resigned from her position on Tuesday after just 6 months in the role. Gay has recently come under sharp public scrutiny over her handling of anti-Semitism on campus since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, as well as accusations of plagiarism in some of her past academic writings. Anybody want to bring up affirmative action? She announced her decision to resign in a letter addressed to the Harvard community. It is with a heavy heart, but a deep love for Harvard, that I write to share that I will be stepping down as president. It's amazing America is at the grips of this fight, of a foreign fight, but we continue anyways. The ladies at the Skim, however, they got their finger on the pulse on America. They're talking about cyber kidnappings, and it's what's got authorities on alert. A missing foreign exchange student found alive in the Utah mountains over the weekend is believed to be the latest victim of cyber kidnapping. Imagine that. Utah police said the parents of 17-year-old Kai Zhuang were tricked into paying an $80,000 ransom after receiving a photo that allegedly showed Zhuang had been kidnapped. The incident is part of a criminal trend targeting exchange students. Cyber kidnappers order their victims to make it look like they're being held captive to frighten their parents in exchange for money. The scammers typically monitor their victims via Skype or FaceTime. Guess those people who've been covering their cameras on their laptops weren't wrong after all. The scammers typically monitor their victims via... The FBI has documented a number of growing cases in recent years. Watch out with AI. They might be generating pictures of your kids to try and scam you to make you feel fearful. Anyways, that's a little bit of Nick News coming at you next hour. JLP Hour 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. Manhood Hour is coming up in the next hour. Every Wednesday, third hour is Manhood Hour, rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. You can listen to the show if you're busy doing whatever you're doing and you're not able to sit and watch it live. You want to podcast it later, you can do that as well. But you can watch it, you can listen whatever you're doing, anywhere in the world, by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to donate and have your comments read out loud, and we're going to get to your super chats. You can buy me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com. rebuildingtheman.com. So much. Man, it's crazy. Our battle is truly a battle between good and evil. It has nothing to do with anything else but that. And every human being that has anger is an evil human being. Anger is of the nature, the human nature, which is of the devil, which is of the spirit of evil. That's why you must be born again, must overcome the anger before you can enter into the kingdom of heaven within. Amazing, huh? Let me go to Texas, first time caller, Mark, out of Texas. Mark, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Mark, Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Let me just say that I have discovered you recently within the past couple of weeks, and the message that you send struck a chord in my heart, and I have been binge watching all of your videos and your shows, and it has really spoken to me. I want to thank you for what you do. I think what you're doing is God's work, and it's important work. So
thank you, Mark.
Really
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Fantastic job. Well, thank you. Jesse, I'm calling today because I know where you stand on the issue of abortion. I agree with you. It's evil, it's wrong, it's of the devil. But my question for you today is, what is your thought and opinion on adoption? Do you believe that adoption is also evil?
You know, originally, a while back, I thought adoption would be good, and it is if all was well. I think that instead of a woman killing a man's child in the womb, she should have it, even if she raped, she should still have the baby and put it up for adoption. You know, one bad reaction shouldn't call for another one, right? So put it up for adoption or whatever. But nowadays, I'm not in support of adoption because of all these crazy laws and rules and the brainwashing of the kids and all that kind of stuff. And parents who adopt now, they put their own life and livelihood at risk because the kids can already be mean, angry kids. They're coming from mean, angry parents because they don't have love. They can get mad at you for correcting them or anything, and it's over for you already. So I wouldn't recommend adoption at this time.
Okay, well, the reason I ask is not because I'm thinking of adopting, but because I am adopted.
Oh, okay.
I am gathering the courage to go forgive my mother. And one of the things that came to my mind as I listened to you more is that first of all, I was adopted when I was 3 days old. My parents were actually on a waiting list to adopt a child, and I happened to be that child. And my entire life, I felt that I could not have been adopted into a better family. They were wonderful people who accepted me as their own, treated me as their own. However, after listening to you, I thought, you know, my birth mother separated me from my father by putting me up for adoption.
Yeah.
And then I started to think, what was the motivation of my parents to adopt me?
Yeah.
It sounds good on the surface, but as you talked about in one of your church services, the thrills, the chills that people get by doing things that's of a selfish nature. Was the adoption by my parents something that they were doing for themselves? In fact, the story that I've always been told is that my mother was told by the doctor that she couldn't bear children. That's why they decided to adopt. And lo and behold, 3 years later, my sister was born. Right, and my mother had a child, my sister, who's 3 years younger than me. But, you know, there's something about that blood connection, I believe. As much as I have, you know, loved my parents, and they've taken great care of me, I never wanted for anything. I never felt that connection.
Yep.
You know, I always felt a little bit like I was an outsider. And so I guess my question to you is that something I should forgive my mother for? It seems a very tenuous thing to forgive her for because, in all appearances, it seemed to be such an altruistic, giving, loving thing that she and my father did.
How old are you? How old are you, Mark?
I am 57.
Back in those days, adoption was a good thing, for lack of a better word, but it was still a selfish thing because parents who adopt are doing it for themselves to make themselves feel good, to fulfill something that is missing, whatever it may be.
Right.
But because things were a little better back then, it was still a good idea, right? But you still, adopted children still yearn for their father. It doesn't matter how nice the adopted parents were, how they provided for you, and some do, especially your generation. It doesn't matter how they provide for the children. The spirit of the child, whether it's a boy or a girl, still yearns for its natural father. And want to know the mother too, but it definitely yearns for the father. An adoptive father can never fulfill that, or a mother.
Right.
Are you able to find your father if you wanted to?
Oh, my father passed when I was 27 years old. He's been gone for 30 years.
And you knew who he was?
Oh, you mean my biological father?
Yes.
No, my adopted mother has told me my whole life that she would help me to contact them. Of course, like you said, back in the 60s, they gave very little information, and parents were separated. And she said, I will help you do whatever you want. And my thought has always been, I don't need to do that. You are the parents I've always known. You are my parents. But I think deep down inside, there's always been kind of a longing to kind of know, who am I? Where do I come from?
Yeah.
You know, who are the people that made me? And I think that's been a big part of me that's missing my entire life. You know, my life's been, as you say, a mess.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself into some situations, and as I've listened to you over the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've come to realize that maybe that's part of it, is that I was missing that part of me, that connection to my biological father in particular.
You're missing everything that's wrong with you is a longing for the father. That's why God said that there will come a day when I return the children to the fathers, and mean adult children, children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. It meant young and old, right? And so everything that's been missing in you was the longing of a father. When you say you're trying to get up enough nerve to deal with your adopted mother, why do you need nerve to do that? Why are you afraid to face her?
I think it's like most people, you know, it's it's a little intimidating, to do that. She's your mom, and to go and say I forgive her. I want to do it. In my heart I have, but I know that I need to face her and say those words and look her in the eye.
Yes.
And go through that act of actually doing it and saying it to her face. As sweet as my mom can be, she's a little domineering and a little overbearing. She doesn't react well to being told that she's incorrect and doing things the wrong way.
Yeah.
We've gotten in some blowouts over the years over particular
All
issues.
women are like that. All women.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, you
that's
got to face it then, Mark. You shaking your boots and do it, and know that the devil thoughts, which are all lies all the time, talk you out of it. You have to go and forgive her.
Yes, sir. I know that, and it's a little difficult. We live about 300 miles apart, so I don't see her in person that often. And I know you said that we can use technology to look at each other in the face and do that, and that's one consideration that I'm taking.
Yes.
And I know I've got to do it, but my real question was, should I forgive her for that particular thing? Should I say, I forgive you for adopting me? It just seems like that might be something that strikes at her heart.
I mean,
maybe that's something I don't need to fear.
No, you don't. I mean, especially your generation, you should be grateful that she adopted you, especially if they provided a physical, as best as they could, home for you and food and education and all that. Be grateful for that, but forgive her for her lack of patience or whatever else that traumatized you by her. Forgive her for that.
Yes. Okay.
But be grateful that they adopted you. If all was well, if men were in charge of this society, this country, adoption would still be a good thing. But men are not in control, and so adoption has to become a bad thing.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
But yeah, be grateful that they adopted you. It sounds like they did you well in the physical sense.
Yes, they did, Jesse. And I've always told people I could not have handpicked a better family to be adopted into. I mean,
right on.
My grandparents and everybody, they accepted and loved me as their own. They doted on me, but then I even thought when I was 5, I was made aware that I was adopted. My parents never kept that information from me, never tried to hide that from me. Maybe it's my mind kind of running a little rampant here, but I thought, why would a parent necessarily do that? If you're taking this child in as your own, why would you then tell that child, hey, we adopted you? You're not of us. You're not from us.
And so do you hold that against them?
I don't know, Jesse. I've always thought of it as being open and honest and a good thing. I've kind of been proud of my adoption. My adopted state my entire life. I tell people, yes, I'm adopted. But then again, just recently it started to come into my mind, was that the best thing for me? To know that I was not of those people and not of that family.
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like, unless you were traumatized when they told you or whatever, or they didn't treat you well. But I don't know if you should make that a big deal. I would just look at the things that I do resent her for. And you said that she lacked patience about certain things. She doesn't want to admit she's wrong about certain things. And see what it is that you really resent her for. And don't listen to the lies of thoughts. Don't make up silly stuff, right? But see what you truly resent her for, and go and forgive her for that.
Okay. And I feel bad that I can't approach my adoptive father. He was a really wonderful man. But as I look back, and I even had a discussion, a little argument with my mom one day about this. I said, my dad was not a manly man. And I didn't know how to phrase it in the way that you phrased it. But, he was a good man, but he was a bit of a beta male, too.
Yeah.
And so I wish that I had him here to approach him and talk to him about that as well. What would you recommend for someone whose father is gone to reconcile that?
Did you have anger toward him as well?
No, not really. he treated me very well, and I wasn't like real close with him, but I loved him.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he was just a wonderful man.
Nice. Well, now that he's expired, as you get to see and know yourself to understand what's driving you, it's going to cause you to understand him and your mother and everybody, really, the whole world. And when you understand that, you're going to, since he's already expired, you're going to naturally forgive him. It'll happen naturally because you can't face him. He's gone, right? But you will naturally, because you will understand him. And understanding is what brings on forgiveness.
Gotcha. Okay, Jesse. Well, I appreciate everything you do. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for taking my call. You've helped me kind of straighten some things out in my head and my heart.
Are you walk while you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
I am, sir. I've only been doing it for like the past week. Again, I discovered your videos. It was about a week, maybe 10 days ago, that I saw the silent prayer video, your kind of instruction on how it goes and what it's for. And I have been implementing that. In fact, I did it this morning when I woke up.
Well,
so
Mark, if you stay with it and just stay with it, no matter what situation comes along, you stay with it, no matter what. Stay with it, no matter what. God, the truth, will clear your mind, will clear your heart, and he will cause you to overcome the world. It would be amazing.
I believe that. In fact, I'll throw this out, Jesse. Yesterday, I woke up a little earlier than I normally do. I sat in my room in the complete darkness, and as I was in my state of silent prayer, I actually saw kind of a flash of light in my closed eye.
Yes.
And the room was completely dark.
Yep.
And I felt that was, God's Spirit kind of moving through me and kind of illuminating something within me. It was very brief, but it was very noticeable. And so I feel that this is really something that's working as I participate in it.
The beauty of that is that whole light, all that light is in your whole body, and you start to see it. And when you see the light, fine. When you don't, fine. Don't have in it. Don't call it good or bad, success or failure. You just watch those thoughts, and whatever happens, let it happen. But your whole body will be of the light. It's just going to get better.
Yes, sir. I believe that.
Amazing. Well, I wish you well, Mark.
Well, thank you, Jesse. I wish you well, and keep up the good work. I'm going to keep following and listening to what you have to say.
Absolutely. Let me know how it goes when you talk to your adopted mother.
I will do that. I will call back.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing. 888-7753. 773. Let me type. Nick, a note. The Anchor Baby. Let me go quickly while the Anchor Baby is coming in. Let me go to Puerto Rico and talk to a first-time caller, Adam from Puerto Rico. Adam, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well.
Good. Hey, I have a mess, in my marriage, and I would like to know when do I know, or when do I quit? When do I know how to fix the marriage or fight for it?
So you say you are married and you're having a mess in the marriage?
Yeah, I have a mess in the marriage because we had a baby out of wedlock.
Uh-huh.
And we got married right after that. Like, she was pregnant 4 months, I believe. And yeah, we got engaged and we got married. And yeah, it's been 4 years now. And I believe I'm the only one fighting for the marriage or trying to do the right thing. And I feel like tired about it. But I recently discovered you on my feeds, and you got my eyes wide open with the whole forgive your father's, your mother thing, and it totally makes sense. And it makes sense because I had like an argument with my father, and my father was like, "Shut up! You're talking like your mama." And yeah, and I was like, "Oh." And yeah, it hit me there because I was like hearing you, and it made sense, but I didn't actually see it in action.
Yes.
Until my dad told me, "Hey, shut up! You're talking like your mama, man." And after a few days of that, I told him, "Hey, Daddy, I'm sorry about that the other day. Forgive me about that. Mommy raised me, so that's why I'm acting like her." And he was like, "Oh, finally you're making sense."
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
So the thing is that right now I'm separated. I'm living in another house. She's living with my kid, and we're talking about like be together again and keep everything going again. And I'm not really sure because I'm not actually in the right path. I'm not actually in the right mindset. And I heard the other day the silent prayer. I'm not even doing that, but I'm going to start tonight.
Nice.
But I'm not really sure because she's like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, God.
And, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm telling her, hey, we're both Puerto Ricans, and we celebrate everything. And she doesn't celebrate anything. She doesn't celebrate birthday, New Year's, anything.
What?
So
No.
I was like, she was like, "Oh, so you can go ahead and have fun, and I'll stay at the house." And I was like, I'm gonna be the jerk that's gonna be outside, or I'm gonna be the boring man staying here with you because you don't celebrate anything. So that's just a hint about she's trying to I feel like she's trying to control everything with her beliefs. She doesn't have like a balance on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you really need a balance everything, because she can have her days, to do whatever she wants to do about her belief or in her church. I don't know if it's a church or something. I'm not really investigating on that, but I don't really want to.
Does she?
But,
Is she
I don't
willing?
know.
Is she willing to obey you?
She doesn't obey herself. She do everything backwards. She says something and she do other things. So she doesn't listen to her thought or her logic. So I don't know if she's gonna hurt me.
Okay. So you
She
said
follows
that.
me, but she doesn't actually. She not necessarily hurt me. You know what I mean?
You said she follows you, but she doesn't hear you.
Yeah, it's because, for example, when she got pregnant, we got married. I joined the Air Force, and she went with me to Louisiana, and she was like not having fun at all. But she was still there, supporting me in her ways. And yeah, we got I had a lot of stress in the Air Force because the language barrier and that stuff. It was super hard for me. I learned the language over there in 3 months or something, and it was a lot. But she was taking it only matters what her feeling was,
Oh, I see. And so you said you feel tired now trying to make the relationship work?
Yeah, it's not like tired, but I believe it's like I done everything. Like, what else I have to, like, demonstrate you for me to feel something that, like, you want it like I want.
And so your question for me is what?
How do I know? Like, how do I know if I should continue this marriage, or we can be like right now married, but her at her home and me at my home.
You guys,
I don't want that. I want to be with my kids every day. It's amazing to be with the kids.
does she try to keep your kid away from you?
What's that?
Does she keep your child away from you when you want to see?
Oh no. She's super helpful with that. She bring me the kid. She always calling me, hey, the kid wants to talk to you. She's not like that.
Good. Did you make a boy or girl first?
I have a girl. She's 14.
Beta.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I heard that, I was like, holy shit, I'm a beta.
Here's what I recommend, Adam. From this point forward, stop trying to make the marriage work. You cannot make a relationship work. Either it works naturally or it doesn't work at all. You're not supposed to try to make anything work. So cut it out right now and just go about your day. And you don't have to divorce her now or anything unless you see down the road that you should. But visit your child, see your child, go to work, let her stay where she is, and just do the silent prayer, forgive your parents, and let life happen. You'll be fine.
Right.
You cannot make anything work. You can't even make your own life work. It has to work on its own in order for it to work. So stop trying to make a relationship work.
All right. Yeah, sure.
That makes sense?
It makes sense, but should I be like not having sex with her or something? Like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I would recommend you wait and see what happens if you're not living together now, because you don't want to make another baby with her. And now that you're about to become a free man, you may see the real hell come out of her, because she will have no control over you at all, and you would not be trying to make her do anything to be right. Can you hold for me? Hold on.
Now that you said that, yeah, you're right.
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Let me take a quick break. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, and individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. welcome back. 888-775-3773. Before I go back to the phones, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. But Hake is not here today. Hake is not here. So Joel Friday TV will be sitting in for Hake today. Isn't that amazing? Joel Friday TV will be sitting in for Hake. And so Joel is going to be on from 9 to 12 today because he's doing Joel Friday today as well. Joel Friday TV. So for 3 hours, Joel Friday will be in studio. He black. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. So the American Anchor Baby is sitting for the Hake News today and getting ready for his show and doing the Super Chats. Everybody busy. And I was going to sit in for Hake, but I can't because I got to take 3 hours of brand new episodes of The Fallen State today after I do my show, my radio show here. So we all busy, and thanks to you all for making it possible. Brand new episode of The Fallen State today. Brand new episode. By the way, Joel Friday TV will be here Monday through Thursday now from 11 to 12. Monday through Thursday. We're trying to work it out where to do Monday through Friday. One step at a time. Joel Friday TV, Monday through Thursday at 11 to 12 Pacific time. Amazing, right? We got some more good news coming up for you as well. It's amazing. Amazing! We are building this network one person at a time, one day at a time. 24-hour talk with men only. For men only, or by men only. But we deal with everybody. Brand new episode of The Fallen State Friday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. A very, very, very Mamma Mia conversation with Joseph Cohen. And Joseph is a British Zionist. Or a Zionist. And the founder of Israel Advocacy Movement. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Are you a Zionist?
I am the biggest Zionist you will ever meet. I put Zionism on my cornflakes in the morning.
The Jews control everything. Is that true?
There is no Jewish conspiracy. You're certainly not afraid. Your first question was, did I kill Jesus? The Inquisition, they literally ripped our flesh off our bodies while we were still alive.
If the heart was changed, then there would be no war, period.
Most nerve-wracking podcasts I've been on. And I go against Nazis and jihadis. So.
Amazing. It was an amazing Mamma Mia live discussion with a Zionist. I still don't really know what Zionists mean, to be honest with you. It just sounds good. But the FallenState.tv this Friday at 12 noon. And you can support the Fallen State by going to the FallenState.tv/donate or locals.com. I do appreciate it. Let me go quickly back to Adam. And Adam out of Puerto Rico, first-time caller. He is married, but it's not working. His wife lives in one home. He lives in another one. They have a child. The wife is giving him no problem with seeing his child. He's fed up or tired of trying to make it work. Am I right, Adam?
Yes.
And so just before the break, I said that stop trying to make it work. If it's going to work, it will happen naturally. If it's not meant to be, it'll end, right? And then
but you were talking about like if she doesn't control over me, I'm gonna see hell from her.
Yes.
Right. And you were talking about that, and I saw a little bit of that already.
Yeah.
When I decided to move out the house, she was like, actually, she threw me out, but I didn't fight it. I just, all right, if you want me out, okay, that's gonna be it.
Nice.
And I moved, and she saw me like renting a house, and like this mother effer, you know, like moving on without me, and I saw a little bit of that. But she's like, right now she looks like she forgot about that already. But I saw that hell that you're talking about, and I would like to know about that hell that you see from people. That means what the hell is, what is making that person making choices, and is controlling that person, that hell that you see in the people.
Yes, 100%. And they think they think it's them. They think they have identified with it. So the thoughts and the feeling, which is a hell, right? They believe that it's them, so they live by that because they have taken that on as their identity. And so what you're going to see with your wife, now that you're going to give up trying to make the marriage work, put no more effort into it at all, because the more effort you put into it, the worse it's going to get. And when she see that, she's going to say, you don't love me. You moving on with life. You don't care about my feelings. You don't care about my emotions. You don't. She's going to.
Right.
And what is happening is the hell in her is having a hissy fit because it is losing control over you.
Right.
And so that's why I said, while you're separated, do not make another baby with her, because now that you're not gonna be trying to make the marriage work, she's gonna get worse. You have not seen the hell yet. It's gonna come out like you've never seen. And when it does, don't argue with her. Don't have long conversations about it. Just okay, like if you want to be with me, come on back. And you have to obey me. If you don't want to be with me, it's up to you. But do not argue with her. Don't try to prove anything. Let her argue by herself, because the argument is set up to try to get control over you again, to take back control. And when she can't do that, she's going to be really nice to you. She's going to want to give you some sex. She's going to want to make a cake. She's going to want anything to draw you back in, right? And so you eat the cake, but don't fall for the lie.
Right. Okay.
All right. And don't get angry, because it's not her. It's the hell in her that's controlling her that want to continue to control you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that, because it helped me keep calm in like stressful situations.
Yes.
It keeps me calm when you see it that way.
Absolutely, because you're now seeing the hell instead of being a part of the hell.
Right. Yeah, because my reaction is going to be part of the hell, right?
Yes.
That's what she's trying to do.
100%.
Good. My last question is, what do you think about people in church jumping and dancing and doing, turn barrels and whatever in the floor, and they said it is the Holy Spirit? What do you think about that?
They are worshiping the devil. The Holy Spirit is the evil spirit, but they're calling it the Holy Spirit, when it's really an unholy spirit. There's nothing holy about that at all. God's spirit, the spirit of the Father, is a dispassionate. It's not into all the emotion and stuff like that. Satan's spirit is emotional like that. So the people in church, when they're doing that, they're feeling the spirit of evil, and it feel either like a good feeling or a sad feeling, right? But both they're identified with, and they're reacting to evil, and they're calling it good. But it has nothing to do with God at all.
Yeah, but they have the good mask for it.
Right. But inwardly, they are miserable.
Yeah. All right.
Did you forgive your mother?
Me?
No,
yeah,
you.
but she yeah. Well, I forgave her, but actually I did it without her knowing until I tell her, and she was like, even crying. She was like, "No, you don't know what happened to me when I was kid." And she was like, I was like, "Mommy, take it easy. I'm just telling you. I don't give a damn what you did. I just forgive you." And she was like, "You don't know everything that I've been through." She was crying. And also, the mother of my kid was there, and she was like defending her. I was like, "Oh my God." It was crazy. They using like the feminism vocabulary to shut me off over there. I was like, what? What the? What you said?
What the? How many children do you have? Just one?
I have only two, and I can't have more.
You have two by your wife or just two different women?
Two different women, yeah.
Oh, okay. So listen, when you went and forgave your mother and she started crying and acting out, it was just a way of her denying it and taking responsibility for what she's done. Because really all she had to do was say, "You know what, son, I'm sorry. I was wrong." And it'll all be over with. But I'm glad you forgave her. And if she doesn't want to admit she's wrong or forgive, that's on her. So let her live in her hell, but don't go along with her hell.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, it's being hard for me right now because I've been trying to not visit her because the only thing that she talks about is like over and over and over again the same problems and not listen to me for the solutions. She only wants the problems to keep going, and I present her like a solution or something, and she's like, nah, I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, so what are you talking about the problem if you don't want to solve it?
Right. That's right. And did you tell her I'm not coming over there? I don't want to hear you bitching anymore.
I'm not telling her like that because she's going to smack me in the face or something, but...
No, she won't. She has no business. If she does, you have her arrested.
No, it's not like that here in Puerto Rico.
But...
They're going to laugh at me. They're like, that's how you should be, man. She had to hit you to, to give you a little bit of education.
They're going to tell you, the police will tell you that your mother should hit you?
I mean, they're not gonna tell me that, but in a way, they're not gonna be arresting her or something. You know what I mean?
Well, I see.
It's not like U.S. at all.
Oh, well, you're doing the right thing.
It's like U.S. territory, but it's not like U.S. at all.
Amazing. Well, you're doing the right thing by staying away from it then. Just stay away and go live your life.
Yeah, I'm trying to be away from my whole family. My whole family is all women.
Yeah.
And it's crazy over there.
Yeah.
I'm like the black sheep or something. I feel like that when I'm with them.
And one last thing before I run here. How about your father? Did you forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Oh, yeah.
How did that
totally.
go?
Even that, I'm understanding him more and more and more.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, do the silent prayer. Stay with the prayer. Stop trying to make relationships work. You can't make a relationship work. If it doesn't work on its own, it's not meant to be. Don't put any effort at all.
Yeah, the next call is going to be talking about my daughter's mother. That's the true hell, man.
Okay.
All right. All right. Nice talking to you, man.
All right, you too. I've gone to Puerto Rico before. It was so nice.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It was beautiful. I was standing on the beach there at the Marriott Hotel.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful.
Amazing. Well, Adam, call me again. I wish you well, relax, and let life happen, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Bye. Amazing call. I told you it's the same problem everywhere. All in around the world. And if you're flat earth, all up and down the earth. Do flat earther call?
I think it's also around for them because the sun, like, where's Hake's flat Earth? Anyways, just imagine my hand is the flat Earth. Even the sun would still go around like this. If it was a ball, it would go around like this, and if it's flat, doesn't it also just go around, but just a different?
So the flat earthers think that the Earth itself is flat.
No, yeah.
But then there's a ball sitting on top of the Earth.
I don't know what they believe about the shape of the Earth, of the sun now. I don't know how but there's a sun. It emits light. I think they believe it's way closer than they tell us, that it's like right here, and it just goes like this.
What? Do they?
I could be wrong.
And so do flat earthers, their career is selling pot?
Some of them. I saw this documentary. Just so happens.
Joking.
No, just I saw this one.
I was just playing flat earthers.
But it's only some. Let's not slander this flat earthers. Many of them are Christian.
Oh, what the? But anyway, you heard Adam call, right, from Puerto Rico? It's the same spirit everywhere. Everyone who born of the woman, male or female, must be born of the Father. Otherwise, your life is going to be misery. And I understand most people love their hell. Some, like Adam, want to overcome it, and Adam is working on himself, and you see he's overcoming. If you work on you by seeing what's going on inside of you, nobody else, don't worry about nobody else, then you'll be fine. But you must return to the Father, men and women, boys and girls.
We love Puerto Rico.
Well, I'm telling you,
No.
Have you ever gone there?
No, but that's how Trump says it. It makes me laugh.
It was fantastic.
We also love Puerto Rico.
Oh, I love
Puerto Rico.
I like that. Super chat.
Super chats.
Rock and roll some super chats. We got some D-Live amazing ice creams and lemons and many things from D-Live. You guys rock. Thank you for that, as always.
Thank you.
We got Cash App, Chalice with always generous there, and Justin Guin is asking Hake to start posting some of those old churches on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
We'll let him know. Maybe we can get it going.
About that. Yes, thank you.
Adam Rivera, thank you for the very, very generous donation on Cash App. Appreciate that. Chalice back-to-back on Cash App, as always.
Right on.
Dustin Nolan, Paul, and Jalen, and Jose Estrella. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We got some coffees as well. Breakfast bought you 2 coffees. Jesse, I used to think I knew what was what, but then you asked something like, what is wisdom? And I realized that I never thought about it before. My mind is blown. Thank you for the entertainment. Nothing is more fun than this here work.
Right on. There is nothing, zero, greater than working on yourself. If you really want to have real fun, I hear people tell me a lot, well, I don't want to be a Christian. Being a Christian is boring. That kind of Christianity is boring because they have all the raw rules they're made up and they don't work anyway. That is boring. But if you really want to have an amazing, fun life, work on yourself. See what's going on inside of you. Live from the kingdom of heaven within. There's nothing funner. Is that such a word, funner?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Than working on yourself. Amazing. Thank you.
I'd say there is. It's funner. EcuSoul bought you a coffee. Says, hi, Jesse. First, Happy New Year. Second, I want to apologize for something. I sent you and the crew for Christmas. I was the one who sent the box of Made in Michigan snacks. I didn't realize the Detroit jerky is actually vegan. He was the one that sent that vegan jerky.
Oh, come on, man.
A friend who
was good, though. I liked it.
People ate it up.
No, thank you. And Happy New Year. The box was amazing. Thank you.
He says a friend who got the same jerky ate some of it, then read the ingredients on the back and immediately threw it in the trash. Very sorry I gifted you beta jerky. I blame the fine print on the packaging and product placement.
No, it was different, but it was tasty. I still enjoyed it.
What the?
And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, it tasted, the flavor was fine. I was just shocked how soft it was. I'm like, what kind of jerky is this?
Yeah.
It was mixed with other kinds of real jerky. And so he was confused. Anyways, hope you like the watermelon licorice. That's my favorite. We rocked that hard.
Black people love watermelon.
Someone bought you a coffee on the topic of women hating men.
Thank you, by the way, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, my bad. Someone bought you a coffee on the topic of women hating men. Even the women who claim to love men or admire men will distort the image of man and impose it on their sons. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but you got to watch the women who claim to admire masculinity as well. Women can't raise a boy to manhood.
All women hate all men. And all men hate all women. And then women hate women. That's why you must be born again of the Spirit of the Father. Return to your Father, then you'll love all people. There will be no separation. You will love all people as God loves you. Amazing. Thank you.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was doing that for some reason. It freaked me out. Soul Conscious, buy you 5 coffees. Happy New Year to JLP and crew. Do you think Biden voters have buyer's remorse at this point?
If they don't, they should. Thank you.
And maybe one more before we go. Prep Ham Paul is a supporter over there on Rumble. Says it's election year now. Both sides are going to be talking about how much they're going to do to fix everything now.
Yeah, they're going to be lying to you. They've already started. The Republicans are going to lie to you, and the Democrats are going to lie to you. Conservative media are going to lie to you, and liberal media. Hate news is coming up. I have one more hour to go. Yeah, thank you all. We'll finish those when we come back. Hate news done by the Anchor Baby News, and I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Hake's out sick news, so you get Nick news, right? Anyways, we got more news coming at you. Is it over for the elite, really? Is it actually their comeuppance, their judgment day for the elite? CNN is reporting Epstein-linked John Does are about to be named publicly. What? Is it really that big of a deal? Or is this just like, what do they call it, a nothing burger? Here's what we know. The identities of dozens of people linked to Jeffrey Epstein are expected to be revealed as soon as this week, potentially removing a cloak of anonymity that had shielded much of the accused sex trafficker's prominent network of friends and business partners from public scrutiny. The expected revelations in a trove of court documents come more than 4 years after Epstein, a convicted sex offender who nevertheless kept elite company, died in jail while awaiting federal sex trafficking charges. For years, the name of many Epstein's accusers and associates had been redacted in court documents, referred to only as a John Doe or Jane Doe. What the? They got Jane Does in there? How many Jane Does? What's the ratio from John Doe to Jane Doe? Just a little curious. It's probably more John Does, but whatever. But last month, a federal judge in New York ordered the documents to be released with nearly 200 names unredacted. Some names, including those of accusers who were under 18, will remain anonymous. Many of the prominent figures in the documents have already been identified in the media, and several became public during the 2021 trial of Ghislaine, how do you say that name? Maxwell, Epstein's partner who was convicted of sex trafficking and who is serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison. Can I just have someone who looks at me like Ghislaine looks at Epstein? Wait, what am I talking about? While there may not be a bombshell in the documents, any new details about Epstein's activities could provide fodder for further lawsuits. With Epstein dead and Maxwell in prison, prosecutors could still pursue co-conspirators. Appearing in court documents is by no means a sign of wrongdoing, CNN reminds you, but given the severity of the charges against Epstein and Maxwell, their former associates have been eager to distance themselves and denounce the alleged crimes. Well, they're going after the elites, maybe. I don't even know what that means. But will they get the criminals in our own government? House CNN Politics is reporting on the House Committee to formally begin impeachment proceedings against Biden's Homeland Security chief over border policies. Yeah, it's the end of America. Hello, anchor babies. It's over if we don't figure it out. House Republicans will forge ahead with steps to impeach Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas over his handling of the border crisis, a GOP source tells CNN. In a statement provided to CNN, a committee spokesperson said the House Committee on Homeland Security has conducted a comprehensive investigation into Secretary Mayorkas' handling of and role in the unprecedented crisis at the border. Unprecedented. I mean, it's been unprecedented for a long time. I mean, come on. Anyways, the announcement of the impeachment proceedings come as immigration is shaping up to be a top issue in the 2024 presidential election, with Republicans slamming President Joe Biden's immigration policies. On Wednesday, House Speaker Mike Johnson, along with some of his Republican colleagues, will visit one of the busiest sections of the U.S.-Mexico border. We'll see what they do with that, and if will they get the border under control. Republicans, we're counting on you. The Department of Homeland Security responded in a statement Wednesday, arguing House Republicans are pursuing a baseless political exercise that has been rejected by members of both parties and already failed on bipartisan vote. Well, there you go. Is AKA translation. Maybe Republicans or anybody. Is there anyone fighting for us? A little translation there. There is no valid basis to impeach Secretary Mayorkas, as senior members of the House majority have attested, and this extreme impeachment push is harmful distraction from our critical national security priorities. What are these people doing? Anyways, folks, we got Men's Forum tomorrow. Today is Wednesday. The week is almost done. That's crazy. Men's Forum, first Men's Forum of the year tomorrow, 2024, Thursday, here at the Bond HQ, 7 p.m. Don't miss it. And, of course, we got rebuildingaman.com where, if you don't know, you can see the stores, the donations, the church, the counseling, the best in this side of heaven, and more. And, of course, JLP, Hour 3, Manhood Hour, coming at you right now. Thanks.
To stand up strong, ain't the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show, by the way. jesseleepeterson.com. /show. And if you're busy and cannot sit and watch the show as it's happening, of course you can podcast it, you know that. But you could be listening to the show no matter where you are or what you're doing. You could be listening to the show live as it is happening while you're working out, making breakfast, lunch, or dinner, anywhere in the world, by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond Cash App on JLP. And last but not least, follow us on social media. Ring the bell, hit the like button, whatever. We're on cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP. Hey, Cozy, how y'all over there? Where Christ is King. Happy New Year to Cozy and Rumble. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Hey, Rumble, you got to know how to rumble. Happy New Year. I wish you guys well as well. And also, JLP Talk on X. Hey, X. Happy New Year. And Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Happy New Year, Instagram. So it is, you still want me to wait in it? Hold still a minute. Okay, let me know when it's Manhood Hour. We have an intro. They're working on it really fast. And as soon as it's ready, let me know. All right, I want to tell you this, and then I go back to the calls and your super chats as well. I have decided, and if you did not hear the first 2 hours of the show, I highly recommend it, especially the first hour. I highly recommend it. We have 6 days until Election Day, right? This is election year. Because I clearly understand the order of God, or what I do understand about it, I understand God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. And as I said in the first hour, that the worst thing is happening and could happen and is happening in my country, in America, and that they are pushing women to the forefront of leadership. Excuse me, I just sneezed. What the? We black. Forefront of leadership, and it's not in the woman's nature to lead. That things are only going to get worse. Women are not smarter than men. Women are cunning, not smart than men. And it's not in their nature to lead. And as a result, everything is getting bad. It's not getting better. Anyone that says that it is lying to you. They're lying. Either knowingly or unknowingly, but they're lying. And so I have decided that I still, as far as voting, I'm a Republican voter, right? But I will not ever vote for the Republican Party again except for Donald Trump. I'll vote for Trump. That's about it. There's nothing else about the Republican Party that would cause me to vote for it. Zero. Except for Donald Trump, he got my vote. The Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. They just have two different names, but the people who run the party, the representatives, the people who run the Republican Party are all the same as the Democrats. They're no different. They're about self. They're not about the voters. They're about themselves, and they're lying to you when they say that they're for the voters. They're not. Number one, they haven't done anything in the last almost 4 years now to make the country better. Zero. They're voting with the Democrats. They're giving the money to Ukraine and everywhere. And our borders are wide open. Everything is still horrible. But one thing that stands out about the Republican Party, they emulate the Democratic Party. They are now voting in women, and they know that that's wrong, but they're doing it because for the fulfillment of their own ego and the destruction of America. The Republican Party hate men as much as the Democratic Party hate men. They hate men, and they're pushing women. And they know that it's evil, but they don't care because they're getting the thrills that they want to get. I was blown away, but not surprised, but surprised, but not surprised. And when I saw this, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I will vote for the great white hope, Donald Trump, and that's it. There's not one other Republican that I would vote for. Not one. I'm done with the Republican Party. The Republican Party hate men, and especially white men. They hate Donald Trump as much as the Democrats hate him. And they want him out as badly as the Democrats want him out. Because they hate strong Christian men like Donald Trump. So some of you might be aware is that there was a guy out of New York by the name of George Santos, not John, but George Santos. And it was reported that when George ran, that he did all type of crooked things to win. He lied, he did that, like all politicians do, right? Nothing different. But the Republicans and Democrats got him out. They got him out. They took the man out as though bad dealings with our politicians was something new. They all do it all the time. So they took out George Santos, and guess what they replaced him with? No, not another male, not another white male, but a black female. A black female. When I saw this, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. The Republican Party is as evil and hate men and hate God as much as the Democrats, if not more. But they pretend they love God. They don't love God, and they don't love country. They're lying to you about that, too. And they're not patriots. They're lying about that, too. They are just like the Democratic Party. The Democrats voted a bunch of women. The Republicans get a bunch of women. The Democrat voted in gays. The Republican voted in gays and lesbians. They do exactly what the Democrats do because they want to stay in office, too. I want to show you the person, the female that they replaced George with or working on it. This is from Time. This is going to blow your mind. This is going to, and she's black. Not a black male, a black female. Bless you. Time of Israel reported GOP pick Ethiopian born, not even born in this country. Ethiopian born Israeli American to run for seat to expel New York Representative George Santos. Watch this from CBS.
Local Republicans have picked their candidate to succeed George Santos in Congress. Nassau County legislator Mazi Pilip has been selected to run in the special election for New York's 3rd congressional district. Pilip, who was born in Ethiopia, migrated to Israel when she was 12 and served in the Israel Defense Forces before moving to the U.S. She is a registered Democrat, but ran for the legislature there in Nassau County on the Republican line.
I am the example of the American dream.
She's a mother, she's a soldier, she's a legislator, an immigrant, a woman of color.
This is a very historic moment for me and my family. My beautiful 7 children that have not supported tax hikes. I fully funded our police. Let's rebuild our economy and secure our borders and support our police and support Israel and other allies.
I'm done with the Republican Party. I'm done with them. They looked up and down the earth, and the only thing they can find is a black female who was not even born in America. No other white male, no other black male, no other Mexican male, but a black female. The Republican Party is evil. They are not for you. That woman got 10 children, she said. She need to be at home watching over that man's children. And what type of man is he that he would let his wife go and work? And with that many children, too. The Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. We have a one-party system now. And they use words like patriotism, they're lying. They use words like Christian, they're lying. They use words, whatever, they're lying to you. They're about themselves. That's why they haven't done anything for America. Nothing. Zero. And this woman, this female, what's her name? Philip? Mazi Pilip. According to Wikipedia, listen to this. As to the criminal charges, this is from Wikipedia about Marjorie Pilip, whatever her name is. As to the criminal charges against Donald Trump, Pilip has said Trump has to go through his process. Nobody above the law, according to Wikipedia, and you put that in charge as a representative of the Republican Party. If this is true from Wikipedia, this woman is not the right person. First of all, it's not in her nature to lead. Secondly, this woman needs to be at home watching over that man's children. And thirdly, why a female? A black one at that. Not just because she's black, but where are the men? The Republican Party hate men. That's why they don't want Donald Trump back. As quiet as it kept, most of the Republicans don't want Donald Trump back because they're just like the Democrats. Wikipedia saying that this woman, Pilip, has said that Donald Trump has to go through his process. Nobody above the law. Nobody's above the law. According to Wikipedia, Pilip is in favor of continued U.S. support for Ukraine. Rhino. Pilip is in favor of continued U.S. support for Ukraine. It's over for my country. The attack on men is worse than abortion. The attack on men is worse than slavery. The attack on men is worse than anything, child abuse. The attack on men is worse than whatever you come up with. And the conservative women are no different than the liberal women. Zero. They just have different name titles. That's it. In their hearts, they hate men. They hate men. And I got proof of that. Here's what Roseanne Barr, I had her on the Father State. I enjoyed talking to Roseanne. Here's what Roseanne Barr and Marjorie Taylor Greene said about women. Watch this from Roseanne Barr.
And I really think that the women are finally going to get it. And the women, the young mothers and grandmas, we're going to figure it out because we know how to do everything. Because we do everything.
We need strong men, and I think many of them...
We need strong men that listen to women. That's the big difference, ain't it?
It is.
The older I get, the more I see how that's just why they always lose, because they don't listen to the older women who know what in the hell's going on and raised them anyway.
I agree.
Right?
Right. Good mothers.
Be enough of a man to listen to your mother and your grandmother. That's how you get smart.
That's right. It's also biblical.
It is very biblical.
Yes, you gotta
It's
obey
not
your
biblical.
mother.
That's a lie. And the reason we're in this trouble because men have listened to the woman, the older and the young woman. And every time the man listens to the woman, he and the world suffers. And that woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever that, she looked like she really didn't agree with Roseanne was saying, but she was too weak not to go all the way with it. But men, you should not be listening to women. You should never tell a woman your issue. You should never show a woman your weakness. You should never cry on a woman's shoulder. You should never listen to them. Every time you do, you suffer. Even your own mama will cause you to suffer. So Roseanne Barr, I got to get Roseanne back on the Father State and do a follow-up on this one. Or maybe go on her show. Amazing, huh? There's something called the Conservative Women Calendar. I just heard about this from the Anchor Baby and then my producer this morning. Anchor Baby told me about it yesterday. Apparently from Fox Bendis, the woke free beer company that was launched as an alternative to Bud Light teamed up with Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines is that woman, I think, that female that could not beat the man in swimming, something like that. So this woke free beer company that was launched as an alternative to Bud Light teamed up with Riley Gaines, releasing a calendar that featured the most quote unquote beautiful conservative women in America. Quote unquote. Watch this from Fox. So is that Riley Green laying there? I mean, is her name? What's her name? That's Riley Gaines laying there. Is she going swimming or something? What the? So conservative women acting like the Democratic women. So conservative women are starting to act like sluts. I thought they were supposed to be a little different than them. Marketed toward conservative dad. So a conservative dad want to marry a conservative slut? Or acting like a slut, dressed like that? I told you. The worst thing that ever happened in America was the attack on men. It's an attack on God. Even though it's not bother God. And if men really knew God, it wouldn't bother them either. They got a photo, a calendar, with conservative women jealous of the liberal women, so they start dressed like them. Ain't nothing nice about that, Riley Gaines. You have a better chance of going back trying to beat that guy in the swimming pool than you do there.
What the?
Because when men see that, all they see is sex. They're not even seeing you. And sex ain't love. The attack on men is an attack on God. And Satan knew it, and he worked through women and weak men to do it. I have an example of that according to Newsweek. Will Farrell has ruffled some feathers with his comments at an event celebrating women. Watch this from the Hollywood Reporter.
Welcome, everyone, to the Hollywood Reporter 2023 Women in Entertainment Breakfast. Woo! This is such a wonderful event where we honor and support and continue to fight for women in all facets of the entertainment world. But you know what? Forget about the entertainment world. Isn't it just time? Isn't it just time for women to run the planet? I'm not just trying to placate you, I swear. But
what a beta male.
I don't know what else to do because we, men, we've been running the show since what, 10,000 BC? Something like that. And we're not doing so good. So please, can you guys just take over? Can you? I think it's time. Sorry.
What an evil man. What an evil, evil man with his mother's nature. He's blind. He's pushing evil by pushing women. And begging them to take over. What a weak man. Evil. I'm being told, according to Wikipedia, Wiley Gaines is married. What the? And her husband let her get naked nearly naked like that? You know he a beta. What the? See? Women are out of control because the men are weak. And this guy, Will Farrell, he has to be joking. He's a comedian, so let's take it as a joke, but not real serious, not as a real joke. It's happening in the general public as well, and this is especially common among young people. Y'all don't know what y'all doing pushing these women. You're pushing hell to the forefront of your life, and you will suffer, just as you're already suffering within. As I mentioned, this is common among young people. Watch this from Instagram.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not a lot, and that should change.
How do we change that?
Let women take over.
Most female-dominated industries are sex or beauty-related, correct?
Yes. That's the way things are right now. That should change.
Well, right, but why would women want to give up their power if they can use it to,
Because it shouldn't be the only power that we're able to hold in society.
Well, whether it should
When you don't give women a fair chance to gain power, they're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, is there anything stopping women from getting power any other way?
Yes, men.
Well, but men also give women their power, correct?
Not enough of it.
If all the men in the world were gay, how would women get power?
Because they're women.
What does that mean?
They're strong and better than men.
Well, right, but I'm saying if women couldn't use sex to control men, then how would they get power?
Skip.
See how dumb she is? Her daddy didn't guide her or isn't guiding her. Her mother isn't guiding her in the right way. And no human being can give you power, dummy. Power does not come from people, places, or things. But that's what my country is headed toward. You think the country has been in trouble? It ain't over yet. And they really really don't want Trump in there. Watch this compilation.
What would a second Donald Trump term look like?
Well, he cannot be the next president.
You can't imagine the things that he's going to do.
We're going to see violence, the likes of which we didn't even see on January 6th.
Make it illegal to run against him, to throw his opponents in jail, to shut down the media.
Terminate the Constitution.
To rewrite the Constitution.
Create mass internment camps.
Destruction of the Justice Department as we know it.
The Justice Department could be entirely transformed.
I am really concerned about that.
Might be sent to jail or their rights might be suppressed, especially minority groups in society.
You might have any number of things happen to you and your family.
Every one of us, our freedom, our liberty, none of us is safe.
It's going to have people around him executing against an enemy's list.
Assassinate generals.
Ordering troops to attack American citizens. Trump's very well armed and extremist base will try to kill people.
Amazing. Have you ever seen these people afraid of one man other than Jesus Christ like this? They're lying. They're making he's going to just take over the world. Which might not be a bad idea, but I understand it. They're afraid of one man, a white Christian male. They're trying to put fear in you. And if you're not aware, you'll be afraid because you would believe the lie. Men, all you have to do is work on yourself and overcome fear. And you will see these people don't have power. Power doesn't come from without. Power comes from within, and it's not yours or mine. The devil has no power, and these people operate on the side of evil. Evil is working through them. I got to take a break, and when I come back, your phone calls and super chat. Y'all better wake up. This attack on men is worse than slavery, abortion, sex stuff y'all made up. Oh, ain't nothing worse than this. There's nothing. And the women are happy, both Christian, conservative, patriot, whatever, to wipe out the man for the false power they think they have and the false love. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats and all those things, back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. couple of announcements. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. at the top of this hour, except that Joel Friday is sitting in for the Hake report today. Hake is out. He's out for today. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. And so Joel Friday TV is sitting in for Hake from 9 to 11 Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m., guess who is sitting in for Joel Friday TV? Take a guess. 1, 2, 3. You guessed it right. Joel Friday TV is sitting in for Joel Friday TV today at 11 a.m. So he's going from 9 to 12 noon today. Joel Friday TV, he black. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Babe at 12 noon Pacific time. All right? Busy morning. He could be back soon. I got to do this quick thing, and then I get to your calls. And I'm about to show you something. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate everything, right? It's just that this person knew that this was special to me. It was like something that I really, 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 really appreciate, and that is in our hearts. And it is the New Testament. And if you can live this, you can be a man or a woman. A woman will overcome being a female into a womanhood. This gift that I'm about to show you, again, I appreciate all the gifts. It's just that this is stood out because it's so special. The gift card said, Merry Christmas to everyone at Bond. You are all if men. Thanks for everything. Much love from Wisconsin. From Camilla. Camilla, thank you. When I opened it, it was in a little tube-like thing, and it made out of special, what do you call that, Sean? Cloth? The if poem from Camilla. The material that is on. It's on a fabric that is amazing. And I want to just show it to you. We put it in a frame. But this is from Camilla out of Wisconsin. Camilla, thank you. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If, by Rudyard Kipling. It is an amazing, I love it. When I saw this, it was like in the little tube thing. I thought maybe it was a calendar or something, right? You know, the thoughts are lies. All thoughts are all lies. All the time. And so I finally opened it. And when I saw it was the if and the type of cloth that it was written on, printed on, it's like a canvas. I was like, oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Camilla. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all the gifts. But if you could become an if person, male or female, you can live. But you got to be an if. You can live. It's the New Testament. It is the New Testament. And Hassan, can you pull up the if? Especially one with Owen in it as well. And then I'll let know for those who don't know what the if is. Maybe tune in for the first time. Can you have it? Okay. Oh, let me know if we get it. I want you to see the if. And the if is the New Testament. It's so deep. It registered in my heart. It awakened something in me that was amazing. The New Testament is the if. All right, we'll have to come back to it. Let me know. You have it? Amazing. Watch the if.
If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Amazing. Now, when you read, you can prove me. Well, I don't know about you prove me wrong, because a lot of people read the New Testament and still don't understand it. But that is the New Testament. That is what it's telling you. Amazing. Anyway, let me go to the busy phones. Brandon out of Canada, been waiting a while. Brandon, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, JC, how you doing today?
All is well, sir.
How was your Christmas?
It was amazing. Happy
amazing.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So today, I know you don't have a biblical question yet, right?
I have one, but I didn't. I gotta get it. I gave it to Hake to remind me of it, and he's out today. But hopefully, I have it ready tomorrow.
Because I have a suggestion for you.
What's that?
Today, I heard to the previous caller, and it is so true that now men are under attack. And I haven't, because before I didn't really took a hard look to it. But now that I heard you mention it, everywhere anytime I watch just a video on YouTube or a comedian show, they always put the white man down, how the white man destroyed the country. They talk about racism, and it kind of got me tired of watching it, because every time I watch something, there's always something about white people.
Yeah, it's all evil.
And it is, right? Because like you said, they founded this country, and that's another thing too. Since I forgave, now, Jesse, I love my country. I'm so happy to be from the Canada. And I love the police officer. Before, I used to hate them.
Yeah.
I used to, when they would arrest me, I would give attitude. I would, say, oh, they arrest me because I'm not even black. I'm, light-skinned. I'm, half black and white. But I would say, oh, maybe because I'm half black. It didn't make sense. But anyway, I would, just try to understand a way to put out my anger, I would do it. But now I love the police officer.
Right.
When I have a chance, I talk to them. I saw them walking down the street the other day with a coffee in their hands, but they never do that around here. But it looks so nice to see them just walking the neighborhood and protecting us from evil. in my city, you know.
Amazing.
So
I have my biblical questions. Hake just sent it to me. It is.
Oh, really? What is it?
Which do you love more, your true life or your false life? Which do you love more, your true life or your false life?
Wow.
Amazing question.
Wow, that's a good question.
It is. Amazing.
So I would say now I love. Oh wow, that's a good question. I would say that now that I've seen, because I saw yesterday something was shown to me, like I realized, like, you know, the story about Adam and Eve.
Adam niece?
Adam and Eve.
Oh, Adam and Eve. I thought you said a damn niece.
Yeah, and people people got it twisted.
Yeah.
They think that it's physical, they think that God, because my question was going to be for you, the suggestion I was going to ask you, because I see a lot of men don't know that their role is like to be there for the woman and guide her towards God's love.
Right.
And they don't understand that. My question that I was going to tell you is like, in what way was the man created in God's image?
Oh, that's for a biblical question?
Yes, that was the biblical question I was going to suggest to you.
Well, we'll hold on to it. That's a nice idea. It doesn't mean I won't use it. It's just I won't use it this week. But I like that. That's a good question.
Right. So should I answer? Should I tell you what I think about it?
No.
Maybe you're going to use it?
Yeah, maybe I'm going to use it. Hold that thought.
Perfect. I'll do that.
Amazing.
And that's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, Brandon. I got to run because of time, but hold that thought. We're going to hold that question, and we'll probably use it.
Perfect. I appreciate that. So thank you, JC, for taking my call.
All right,
Have a good evening, and go take the other callers.
I
Bye.
wish you well this year. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Cameron is a first-time caller out of Nevada. Cameron, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing?
All is well.
I just got a question.
Okay.
How do you beat anxiety? I'm only 24, and my anxiety is like crazy. And it started because I do a lot of my own research. I go into the political sphere, and of course I follow Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. But I know that you talk about the evil spirits, and I feel like that's what's happening. Like I'm just always getting attacked. But how do you defend yourself from it?
By overcoming anger. When you overcome anger, you overcome evil, and evil will be taken away from you. And anxiety is the nature, one aspect of evil. Anyone that has anxiety is evil. They're worshiping evil. You got to overcome your anger.
But I don't feel angry when I have the anxiety.
But that's where it comes from, though. You're overreacting to something. You're worried. You're afraid. You're overreacting to either losing something or gaining something or not gaining. But it's because you have anger. Have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah. I mean, I think like I fully haven't. I told myself I have, but I don't think I fully have them.
Well, why haven't you gone? Because anyone that has anxiety has the nature of their mother, which is of the devil. Why haven't you gone and forgiven her?
Maybe it's an ego thing.
You're afraid to face her?
No, I just feel like, because I mean, I talk to my mom every day. I don't hate her.
Why do you talk to her every day?
Well, I don't talk to her like every day. I mean, like I talk to her so often.
If you don't hate her, why haven't you forgiven her then?
I mean, I guess I can sit there and like say like I forgive you, yeah, because I felt like I have before.
But if you haven't faced her, you haven't. Why haven't you gone to her and forgiven her?
Because I'm still angry.
Yes. and you're afraid to face the devil. You're not going to overcome your anxiety until you overcome anger. You're not going to overcome your fears and your worries and your until you overcome anger. Anger is evil. Anger separates you from God. And you, what did you say about you worship Jesus or something?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Why do you think you worship Jesus Christ when you hate your mother?
Because I never thought about when I gave my life to Christ, I never thought about, oh, I hate my mom.
Yeah, you have not given your life to Christ. Satan on you. You've said with words, oh, I give my life to Christ, but those are just words with no meaning. You only gave your life to the devil until you forgive your mother and forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. You will not enter into the kingdom of heaven within. You will have no peace.
I think I understand what you say about that, though, like forgiving my father. I think that's where it comes from, because he was never there, but he acts like he was there. And he acts like he could have been there, but he didn't want to be there. He didn't take responsibility.
He didn't want to be with you. He loved you. Fathers love their children, and when they leave the mothers. They don't leave the children. But the mother who hate the fathers make the children believe that they leave them, and they lie to the children and recreate the children their image by playing victim. Your father could not handle your mother.
But then why couldn't he stay there?
Because
why couldn't he still try to be a father?
Because he didn't know how to deal with her, and she would not allow it to happen due to her jealousy of the children being close to the father. She would not allow it to happen, and he didn't know how to make it happen. Because the woman he was involved with was his mother. You become attracted to what you hate.
So why do you think he couldn't figure out how to be a man, though, and, like, say, step in and still try to be a father?
Because he didn't understand the spirit of his mother that made a home in him. In the same way, you don't understand it, but now that you're seeking it, you will come to understand it. So you have to go to your father and forgive him. You should ask him, why do you stay there and protect me from my mother? Why haven't you asked him that?
Ask him what?
Why did he protect you from your mother?
Why didn't he?
Why haven't you ask him about that?
Because basically I basically asked him that, but not in the words you're saying, and he says that he was too young and he didn't know what he was doing.
Yep. And so you should forgive your father, because you're never going to know God, period. As long as you hate your earthly father, it's impossible to know God. You'll know about God, but just an idea about God, but you won't know him.
And it starts by forgiving?
When you forgive them, God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness, but you forgive your mother for turning you away from your father, and your father for not protecting you from her. Then God will forgive you. Then you will know God. And then the anxiety would disappear, because the anger will be taken away from you, which is the nature of the devil. It's the nature of evil.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
And the reason that it making sense, because the Father in you is trying to draw you back unto him. He is allowing you to see that what I'm saying is true, so you can deal with it and overcome evil.
Yeah, because now I'm just separated from both of them. Like, I don't want to talk to neither of them like that. I just want to be my own person and just do what I want to do.
And once you forgive, you will become that way naturally. It'll be amazing. And then if you see them, you'll be able to talk to them or hang out. If not, fine. God said to honor your parents. All he mean by that is don't resent them. They could not help themselves. What they have done to you was done to them by their parents, and they have not forgiven their parents.
No, okay, yeah.
Right now, you have no love. You only have hate.
Yeah, because I haven't forgiven my mom.
Yes.
And not forgiven my dad for protecting me from my mom.
Right. Your father loved you. He just couldn't help it. He didn't understand. He didn't see what you see right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because I'm definitely in a better position than he was when he was my age.
Yeah. Now you should love your father and your mother as God loved you. I'm telling you, Cameron, anxiety, fear, doubt, all that stuff will be taken away from you because it's the nature of the devil. Are you doing the silent prayer day and night?
Yeah.
Are you doing my silent prayer?
Your silent prayer?
Yeah.
No, I usually just do my own prayer.
Go to rebuildingtheman.com and do your little prayer first. And once you're done, be still and know God. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer.
All right.
But go, because of time, go forgive your mother and father. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right, I got you. Thank you.
And one last thing. All thoughts, except for practical thoughts, build your house, go to work. All thoughts are all lies all the time. So stop believing those thoughts. Let them pass. And you will once you start doing the prayer. Those that make you feel good and make you feel bad are lies. They're all evil.
Thanks. Sounds good. Thanks, sir.
Let me know how it goes, all right?
I will. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Dwayne is a first-time call out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Dwayne.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Dwayne. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for accepting my call. Wow, I didn't think I would get through.
Yeah, I was trying to rush to get to you, too.
No, it's no problem. It's no problem. I just had a question. How do you build your faith in God? I'm just having a hard time. Like, I believe in God, and I believe, that the things that he does for me through people, but I'm trying to build my faith in him, like, when I'm going through situations in life. For instance, I'm having, similar to what the last caller spoke about, like certain anxieties in life, fearful of, like, bills or things of that nature. Like, so how do I build my faith in God to trust him and know that, hey, everything's going to be...
Why do you think you believe in God and have all those issues?
Well, I believe in him because I know that he exists, and I know that he cares about me.
So you just believe about him, but not in him.
Well, I believe in him in the sense that I believe that he works through other people, to help me in certain parts of my life when I need them. But
Dwayne, are you able to call me tomorrow, and I'll take your call no matter what's going on as soon as you call in?
Yeah, sure. I'm in Georgia, so my time is a little different, but I definitely do.
Yeah, you're like 3 hours ahead of me. You're from it's almost 12 o'clock there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, like, I'm on from 6 to 9 California time, Pacific time. That means 9 to 12 your time.
Yes, sir.
So call me between 9 and 12 your time, and I want to spend some time with you.
Okay.
On this issue. Yes. All right, so call me and remind the screener that I told you to call back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jesse. Have a Happy New Year.
You too, buddy. Happy New Year. I am so out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. Joy on Friday TV sitting in for the HakeReport.com. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Babe, Kenyan, a first-time call out of Ohio. Tony out of California, the guy with no roof. No chimney on his house. No chimney. And the callers is dropping. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one. Get on that straight and narrow, folks. I'm telling you, God is with you.
Stand up.
Have an amazing day. I'll be back tomorrow. Bible Papa Thursday. Joy Friday TV coming up now, sitting in for the HakeReport.com. Take care.
Never want to stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the loop? You better go talk to your mama. Better stop all the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.
Test, test, test. We are, I don't know if we're live. Oh, okay.